hope NEPA has given you light to watch this broadcast. And if not, I am sorry, you can use your generator. Nigerians are tired. They say I am incompetent.
My name is Saeed Mohammed, aka Funky Mallam, and I'm an extraction of Kano, Adamawa, and Edo. I was born in Edo. My placenta was buried in Edo. So half of me, or part of me, has been buried in Edo State. Well, from my father, I'm the firstborn for now because the other three were late. I didn't even know the other two, but the other one that my immediate elder brother, died when he was in secondary school, and then I was in primary school. But then that was even no more here, and. But in my mother's place, I'm the last born. Okay. Yeah, because after I first married, with two kids, and then, later on when she is out of she got divorced, and then my father married her as his first wife again.
This is a bus now who get him?
Yeah, no.
Yeah? To Shikenam. I see this bus. For inside my room, on top of my bed.
Yeah.
Yes. No, telling me who got up.
Mallam, not be me.
Mallam, what is going on here?
Now who got on this boxer?
This is my boxers now.
Yeah.
Huh? Now your boxer?
Oh, of course.
So now you.
My hobbies, well, I like relaxing, sleeping when I'm doing nothing. I like, playing with kids, and I like watching nice programs, beautiful programs, very educative, sensitive programs. Yeah.
Spider-Man zai. Wakake giama. Wakake giama waya. Kana waya da wani ne? To ka gama wayan.
Because I started my primary school in Delta State, Agbo, then Bendel. Yeah, I was in Okunda Primary School before it was changed to Baptist Primary School, Boji Agbo, Owa. And I didn't finish there, so I finished in Abia State, Umuahia, as St. Michael's Primary School. And from there, I went to Jos Secondary School. I started with Government Teachers College junior class, and then I ended up in St. John's College Jos. After which, after that, then I went to Port Harcourt, and I worked as a transporter at NAFCON. And I spent 3 years before I got an admission in Bayero University, where I read mass communication. I think I'm extremely, gentle because when I was growing, I'm even scared of, fighting, and I don't like trouble. I get scared of the even policeman on the street. So that's the kind of person I am. But I'm very, I'm very hilarious. I like making people laugh. But then some of the things I do or we do with some of my friends, people, tempt us as nuisance, despite the fact that when a child is playing, I mean, he's just having good time for himself. But the adults, find it, annoying sometimes. So, but then that's their own problem. The only thing I know is that at least I had a very beautiful lifestyle when I was a kid. So.
I beg, no shoot me for Yash, I beg you. They know they shoot person for Yash for our family. Nobody they die without Yash go heaven, I beg. I think I'll beg you, and they do plenty things with the hands, so I beg you. What's happened? Sorry?
Will you keep quiet?
Sorry, just small.
Okay, that was years back, still in primary school in Agbo, where we used to, go to cinema. We sneak, and go to cinema. Nobody knows, and we get to a point that we don't pay, because we go very early in the morning to sweep the cinema, cinema hall, and then we come at night and enter for free. So whoever happens to be the one that sweep the cinema for that day, we now have a free entrance. So that was how, and then in those days, it were mainly Chinese movies that we watched, little of American movie but then I started developing interest in, karate, this kung fu, which sometimes as kids, we now share ourselves, and then some people will play the bad guys, some people will play the good guys. And that was when I started learning some of the acrobatic, hanging my leg, in the air, twisting around and all these things. So learning kung fu, while watching Chinese movies. So I never knew definitely I'm going to become an actor there. Yeah, but then I think after that I started developing interest in music, because when I was even in Bayero University, that was when I started doing music mostly. I used to write my songs, and then I'll get some foreign instrumentals to, lay my song on top, especially when we are having like Miss Campus or we're having other shows, then there are some kind of weekly shows that comes up by the swimming pool, like in Daula Hotel or Central Hotel So they used to call me Positive S that time, So we go in there, they put our names on posters, so we perform. The DJ plays the instrumental, and then I sing my song. I do R&B and I do rap, that time. And they pay us money, and there was a time they started, some guys, come to take some of us and then take us to some of the northern states, tour. And we were able to make some money at that time. So I think that was the beginning of the whole thing. So I was even thinking I'm going to go into music, but my mother doesn't like me going into music. And it was like a huge offense, due to my religious background at the same time, especially when it comes to secular music. So I had to drop music then and then go for the acting.
Then explain to me how telling the people not to vote for me is working for me.
I didn't tell them not to vote for you. I only told them to vote for whosoever they find competent.
What do I do?
Step down.
Yeah, initially, when I came to Lagos, when I was done, I happened to go back to Port Harcourt and then spent some time in Port Harcourt before I came to Lagos, and I was introduced to Even Extra Studios, then owned by Mr. Femi Lasode, the producer of Sango movie, So, and now he keep telling me to keep coming, that when there's something that he believed we were going to work together, until the day I went, and I was kind of tired. I wanted to go back to Port Harcourt, and I went to Even Extra Studio to meet some of my friends to tell them I'm going back. And that was when I met him, at the premises, and he stopped me and said that, were you the one that's supposed to play Musa on Paradise Park? And I told him that I didn't know anything about Paradise Park, so he now said I should wait for him. Then he escorted his client and then came back and asked me to work with him to his office. And we did. Just like that, he now told them to put down my name and give me the role of Musa to play on this sitcom comedy, Paradise Park then. And then the people were kind of, they finished casting, they've done auditions and finished casting, but he insisted that I should be given that role. So they say, okay, let them do the audition for me, and they brought their camera, and so I killed it. And then he now said that he preferred me than the other person that they've casted. So that was just the beginning of the whole thing, and I could remember that year 2000. So it was on NTA network, and instantly the whole thing just kind of, makes me popular, and and it was so embarrassing that when you don't have nothing but you're popular on the street, so it was exciting. So that was how the whole thing started. Initially, one of my cousins that saw me, on Lifeline was kind of surprised that he couldn't believe that I was making people laugh. For him that wasn't a job, kind of. So he now reported me to my mother. My mother was so worried. So when I went to Kano, but fortunately, before I even went to Kano, there are some of my cousins then. They were in Bayero University. So when they went to apply, she now complained to them, and they told them that, look, this thing is part of talent at the same time, and people are really making money with things like this. It's like this is what he read, mass communication, so it's part of it. So that she should just allow me to be. Gradually, everything is going to be all right. And they had to convince her. So when I came, she told me, and she said initially she was scared. I said no, that and that is why I tell people that entertainment could be used as means of moral means of life. You can use entertainment of any kind of platform to disseminate to preach gospel to people. It doesn't have to be that God says no. There are so many things you can come at that people will be able to emulate you. But unfortunately, people look around today to tell you that every publicity is publicity, whether it is bad publicity. So now it's like people will, especially the youth, are looking forward to what is going to make me have more followers on social media, what's going to make people to know me quick and faster.
I thought you said you were as fit as a horse.
But I never told you that I'm a horse.
Wow. The first movie so far, honestly, I wouldn't remember that, but I know I've spent a lot of years doing soap. After Paradise Park, we now it comes Face to Face, and then I know I was just busy doing all this thing. I was comfortable doing what I was doing, so, and then the movie was not the way it is today. So you have to be going for the auditions, and then though even today people go for audition, but once you get to that level that actually a lot of people knows what you can offer, they call you to, so, but then it's like something that has been, categorized, which still exists up till today. And that is why you see some people are known as soap actors, some people are known as cinema actors, some people are known as TV actors, rock actors or DSTV actors or cinema or just, things like that. And then hardly for other producers to, call you or give you or offer you a job for the other part, so which is still existing today. So I think that was what we battled alongside with. I think I actually could not remember the first movie, but I know one of the one that actually projected me was October 1, produced by Kule Afolayan, and I played a role that actually projected me because it was this center story of the movie, which actually people have empathy on me at that particular time, and then it was talk of the town. People, even when critics were writing positive things about that movie, they had to touch that part of mine. So actually that projected me a great deal. I think that was it. I've forgotten here precisely, but I know it's still on Netflix.
I'm talking to you. Come here. What's that your name again?
Yeah, what am I talking? Sorry, Coco.
What?
Ask him for my name. I say Coco. Let's.
Okay. I don't understand what language you're speaking.
Well, all I know is that I've been stereotyped. You understand? Because people actually hardly call me to play myself or give me a challenging role that they've never seen me play before. And just like people on the street that watches TV at home that think, hey, Funky Mallam is that stark illiterate that could not speak English, and which means has never been to school. Some producers still have that on the back of their mind. So they don't even think of giving me any other role rather than that particular role because they believe I cannot play it. Not until I think the first movie that actually broke that jinx was The Department, when I was called by NASA, and then I thought it was the same Mallam thing I'm going to play. They said, "Now, dude, you're going to play me something. I've gone through your profile. I've seen that you read mass communication. So I don't believe in all this stereotyping of actors. You're going to play me the son of a multi-billionaire who lives his life in America, comes back to Nigeria, and fight for the other youths around here." Which I had to fight against Jide Kosoko in that particular film, to liberate people like Desmond Elliot, Majid, Michael, Osas, Dairo. So that was the first time, and I was so glad to have that, to play that role at the same time, And ever since then, other producers picked up. Well, in every set there are challenges, you understand, just like even like you saw me in one of the sets, there are so many other challenges, but it depends on, sometimes these were just logistics, and some were, lack of professionalism, from the part of the either producer or the crew and things like that. And then you have to just take it easy with people, otherwise they will start seeing you. They wouldn't, look at the other way around, that they were doing, snapping on you, that they will think that you're now behaving rudely to them and you're not being disciplined. So sometimes you just have to be careful on how you deal with people, because when you do good things, nobody knows. But when you do one bad thing, it goes faster. So, and but then I think Eagle Wings, the movie I played, was a very challenging movie for me, because that was when we had to do a lot of military training, and then the forest, because I played the executioner, as a terrorist executioner, whereby I know nothing but killing people. Even my commander was afraid of me in that movie. So at the end of the day, a lot of people were so shocked that I can transform from a comedian to a bad guy, to that point that when you watch, you believe that this guy is bad for real, And at the same time, that humor still appears in other places, but as a bad guy at the same time. Now, it was of a great challenge because the forest we use, or the military regiment we use, were kind of during dry season, so the bush was dry and dusty. And then when the helicopter was coming to chase us, during the battle, we were defeating the soldiers, and then they had to call for assistance, from the Air Force, and then the helicopters come down. We started running. That was something else that I will never forget, And that makes me to salute the Nigerian soldiers, for a job well done. It wasn't easy at all, because at each time you run with the dust and everything, you come gasping and you're looking for water, and before you know, you finish a bottle of water at a stand. So it wasn't funny at all. And then for you to be able to look like somebody who actually fought a war throughout the day and night, then we walk throughout that day and have like 3 hours sleep to come back, so that your face and every fashion of your look will look actually naturally, haggard or whatever, to make it believable that yes, you've been there doing all these things for all these days. So they had to do it practically without doing the makeups or making your face look haggard, or so that was very challenging. Yeah.
Yeah, after today, you are going to know why the people are calling me Kokwale.
I don't know the people will seem like you, eh? They don't be smart.
Yes, madam. Wait.
Ah, what's happening now?
To remove and clothes, you go take one step. When I go remove and clothes, remove and before you go remove your, make a do and dog style. Now in the day pass.
Which one be dog style?
Look, you are put your hand for here.
Yeah,
go. Then you go carry your nash up.
What?
Oga, sorry.
You've turned my house into a brothel. And you, get out!
Hey.
Get out!
They go.
Did he tell you that he's married with 5 wives? Come outside. Come here! What was that rubbish?
I'm sorry, I did sorry, Oga, make no bet. But like, even to say that, na double aware, Agbada, I'll put on designer shoe for leg. I say, make I go tell.
Shut up your mouth!
What actually balanced me and took me to the next level in my career was endorsement, especially when I got the Glow endorsement.
Hold on, see.
Yes, I'll make I put this one, go. Your money is to pay for this one.
I don't pay already now. See, if you pay yesterday, you know they pay today. Now free tomorrow now.
What if you are going to pay me for my food?
Wait.
Like, pay me my money now.
Yeah, calm down.
As you chop my meat, now who are going to pay for this meat? Who going to pay for all this meat?
So, and then comes another one that I could talk about, which is Black Book, which has not, that is for Netflix original kind of, and I don't know, keep pairing me with RMD at the same time, Shafi. Yes, I've done a lot of things with RMD, so that was another bigger project again. So I have a lot of them like this that actually comes, so that's it. So okay, yeah, these are some of my most treasured achievements, and then that includes, but first, my family, my home, because all these things came through the entertainment money. When you build a good home, you have a good wife, you have beautiful kids. So without money in this country, I don't think you'll be able to achieve that because the wahala, even to take them to school. The advice of upcoming actors is nothing else but very simple things, humility, hardworking, prayerful, and loyalty to what you love to do, and then just, try to carve a niche, for yourself, and don't be that hanky-panky kind of person that you think you have just arrived. By the time you think you've arrived, then that's going to be the beginning of your problem. You understand? Because you start disrespecting people, you start taking things for granted. So just see every day as a new day in your life, as just you've never started. So whenever you go to work, you put 100% commitment, even if you don't charge much. Put everything that you've got, Make sure that you are instrumental to the success of that project. It pays.